That is when Namdi began to smell a rat. Because what is so special about Nyako? Is she not just a judge like every other judge? Why must she be the one that the file will be going, you recuse yourself, you bring the file back to the same judge? No. What makes Nyako so special to try Nnamdi Kanu's matter? Now, Nnamdi has no other option rather than to write an open letter. So let Nigerians see how he is faring with his trial. Let Nigerians see it. They tried the same thing with Nnamdi Kanu. A plane flew into Kenya, got Nnamdi arrested. Whatever way they used to hypnotize and put him into a plane and bring him to Nigeria, only them knows. Even though Kenyan government says they are not even aware that the plane came to Nigeria, but that is also a falsity, because every plane that takes off from any airport in the world
has a destination.
Yes, it is known. Just like a ship. Any ship that takes off from any port in the world, there is a monitoring mechanism for ships, just like there are for planes. You know, Nnamdi Kanu had or have legal representation all the while. A greater number of those doing them pro bono. You can see that of Jimako. You can see that of the other young man from what's his name. Now, these people have been representing him all the while in court. But if you watch the scenario of what happened last week in open court, even while the judge was still sitting, he opened up and said he wanted to take his fate in his own hands. Let him defend himself. Let him talk how he feels. You see, when you have two different laws for two different sets of people in one country in brackets, you find out that this is the kind of thing you expect to be happening. Because we can recall that in this platform of Afet TV, we have discussed the Attorney General's enter of Nole for the Mieti Allah suspect that was being tried for terrorism and reasonable felony. We have also seen the discharge of the case of Igboho in the Southwest. Now ask yourself, what is so special about Nnamdi Kanu's own? Nnamdi Kanu, when he said the husband and the son of Justice Nyako is being tried for corruption somewhere, and that they gave him a condition that she should jail him so that the son and the husband could be set free. Some people began to dig whether it is true or not, and found out it is true. Now, that's by the way. The judge also recused herself following Nnamdi Kanu's protest last year. I think that was around between November or September or thereabouts. The judge said, okay, since you don't want me to try you, I will not try you. That is what you call recusing yourself. She recused herself. Now, the file was returned to the chief judge of the Federal High Court for reassignment to any other judge, or even to himself. Nothing stops him assigning it to himself. After all, they are all judges. The difference is that this one is the eldest. Otherwise, they are primus. He's just a mere primus inter pares among judges. He cannot even overrule a fellow judge because all of them have the same power. But administratively, somebody should be at administrative level. The chief judge of the Federal High Court is at the administrative level. So when the case file was returned to him, the rumor mill says that many judges rejected the file. That's the rumor mill. It wasn't in the judge's own hands. He didn't write it down, because if he had written that, we could have known a judge that will be assigned a case and say he will reject it. Now, even if all the judges reject it, why not take it on yourself? Since Nyako has recused herself, now you sent it back to Nyako. That is when Nnamdi began to smell a rat. Because what is so special about Nyako? Is she not just a judge like every other judge? Why must she be the one that the file will be going, you recuse yourself, you bring the file back to the same judge? No. What makes Nyako so special to try Nnamdi Kanu's matter? Now, Nnamdi has no other option rather than to write an open letter. So let Nigerians see how he is faring with his trial. Let Nigerians see it. Now, as a lawyer, at least any lawyer that is above 20 years post-court is no more a young lawyer, because some people call a young barrister. I'm not a young barrister. So I think my take home from this very trial is that it is no more prosecution of a suspect, let me put it that way. It's no more prosecution of a suspect. It is now persecution of a suspect. Because why do I say it is persecution? Persecution is saying that, number one, you have an illegal act which you committed to bring Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. That is rendition. It is illegal, both under international law and our own law. But then it happened under Buhari. And Buhari, like all we know, is a man of rendition. He tried to rendition Umar Diko, where he was a military head of state. But the eagle eye of British police, the American police, I think it was American police also, I think British, they caught him and then opened the crate. Lo and behold, it was Umar Diko that was created in a crate, about to be taken back to Nigeria on a diplomatic bag. Because according to Buhari, he was indicted in a military tribunal that was set to try politicians who held sway in Nigeria between 1979 and 1988, when they had their coup. Now, they tried the same thing with Nnamdi Kanu. A plane flew into Kenya, got Nnamdi arrested. Whatever way they used to hypnotize and put him into a plane and bring him to Nigeria, only them knows. Even though Kenyan government says they are not even aware that the plane came to Nigeria, but that is also a falsity, because every plane that takes off from any airport in the world
has a
known.
destination.
Yes, it's known. Just like a ship. Any ship that takes off from any port in the world, there is a monitoring mechanism for ships, just like there are for planes. So telling us that they don't know that the plane came to Kenya and took Nnamdi Kanu is neither here nor there. But let us leave Kenya out of it. Let us look at the people that orchestrated the mass rendition to Nigeria. Now, having been rendition to Nigeria, the question is, what stops you, assuming you have renditioned him illegally? And you can recall also that there are about 1 or 2 court orders or court judgments telling them to release Nnamdi Kanu. And in all these things, the federal government has never faulted. Either way, they will say they will draft a new charge. If court discharges you of a given charge for which you were arraigned in court, and you are still kept by the security agencies 1 minute after that order, it's an illegal detention. You are measured as a national leader by your respect for human rights. If Tinubu as a president, if I am to advise him, but at the very first onset of his administration, if I were to be his legal advisor, what I could advise him is to order the release of all those people being tried on self-determination charges. Because ordinarily, under both international law and national laws of the states, it's not a crime. If somebody says, I want to live where I belong, even Nigerian constitution gives freedom of association. So if you say, I don't want to associate with Nigeria again, is it not part of freedom of association? Remember, the Supreme Court has interpreted dissemination of information, knowledge, and whatever in the constitution to mean that you are free to set up even private universities. Because that's when universities were being set up here and there. Federal government started to clamp down on some of the private universities. They went to court. And the Supreme Court interpreted it to mean that dissemination of information and this for whatever reason. also includes setting up university, because this university, you are getting new knowledge there, and there are information being displayed there. And that also gave rise to the springing up of some of these private electronic and print media. Like we are here now. Ordinary before, it was the MTA that had the monopoly.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying in effect is that if the president has been advised rightly, I think what he could have done in the first instance, when he was releasing Igboho and the other Mietiala young man, he could have also said, Namdi Kanu, go home and see no more. If you want to carry out your demand for self-determination, follow international best practices. There are guidelines. Go to the United Nations. Seek two-thirds majority. Or find any of the Security Council henchmen, the ones that once they can veto anything, get just one. Let that one come and speak on your behalf, on the behalf of the country you are asking for, under the United Nations Charter. Then go and organize a referendum in your own area. Let us know how many people want to leave and how many people don't want to leave. So, but you also find out that people are saying that the rumor mills making the rounds is that the stakeholders in the southeastern part of Nigeria, in fact, the eastern region of Nigeria, doesn't also want Namdi Kanu released.
Yeah, that's a very disturbing
Yes.
thing to, I mean, it's moving around, but in what way would they be benefiting from his continuous detention?
Yes, let me tell you how they would benefit. You see, there are two groups of people that control the masses: the state actors and non-state actors. The state actors are the ones purportedly, in bracket, voted into power. They are the state actors. Non-state actors are like people like Namdi Kanu and the NGOs. They are the non-state actors. Now, you will find out that most of the time, if the non-state actors gives a directive, people obey it to the letter, including this sit-at-home that I refuse to go in the southeast. Even if the urban areas now don't observe sit-at-home, we go to the villages, they are all sitting at home on Mondays. No school opens. The teachers will tell you it is better I will be alive and my salary deducted than I'll be a dead person and nobody pays me anything. So you find out that who gave that instruction for sit at home every Monday? Not state actors. Now state actors have said, disobey it, come to work. I will deal with you if you don't come to work. Yet they are still being disobeyed. So there is likelihood that if Namdi Kanu is released, he will rupture the political setting for some of these state actors.
So could this be the reason why it is convenient for the federal government to keep him in detention?
Oh, see, the federal government, Tinubu as a president, doesn't drink beer with me in the streets of Zikebene. He doesn't chill with us in ShopRite, but he stays in Asorok. Whatever he needs is in Asorok. So he's fed. The information he's given, where he's seated, is the information he's going to work with. If they tell him, no, if the man comes out, nobody is safe in the southeast, he will believe them because they are the people who get access to him. Me and you doesn't have access to Tinubu. But the state governors of the eastern region, beginning from Enugu to Bayelsa, they have access to the governor, to the president. The ministers, including the former minister of, for example, including the equipment minister of what do you call it, Works, and the equipment minister of Federal Capital Territory. You know, these are people who doesn't want to hear about it now. They can. Even when the minister of Works was the governor of Ebonyi State, he will always tell you Ebonyi is not part of Biafra. So if these people are there, surrounding the president, usually we know that the president will always listen to them, thinking that they have the voice of the people, not knowing that they
Yes, so my people, El-Rufai named the commander-in-chief of Boko Haram. El-Rufai named the commander-in-chief of Boko Haram, the same Boko Haram that me and you know, terrorist organization. a former governor named commander-in-chief of Boko Haram. The same governor partnered with USAID. The USAID was exposed by US senators that they sponsored terrorism in Africa, and Boko Haram is one of them. Then a former governor of a state was declared commander-in-chief of Boko Haram. He was commander-in-chief of his state. He was chief security officer of his state, and still a governor, elected governor, chief security officer of his state, and he was also a commander-in-chief, or whether he is or was a commander-in-chief of Boko Haram, and that governor is Fulani. His name is El-Rufai. No be me talk am, abeg, no be me talk am. Na Ihe Jidika, former chief of army staff, na him talk am. Other newspaper outlets, they reported it. Malafia, before he died, former deputy CBN governor, conducted an interview and said that a former governor, sorry, a sitting governor then, a sitting governor is a commander, is Boko Haram commander. And that time, by, I don't know, by mistake or by providence, El-Rufai was a sitting governor. That time, he made the allegation. Here cannot now come and add pepper, add salsa to the gari, saying that it is El-Rufai that is a commander of Boko Haram. Please make it make sense in Nigeria. A governor of a state, chief security officer of a state, is alleged to be commander of Boko Haram in the same state. Boko Haram are killing people. The governor is supposed to secure people in that state, but yet, according to reports, the governor is commanding the state police and those that are protecting the state, and also commanding the people that are attacking and killing people in the state. It tells you a lot, according to this report, it tells you a lot about the Fulani. Don't play with them. Don't joke with them. They have the ability to play the long game. Manipulators and whatever. They wicked so far that they fulfill Usman Danfodio, his agenda. They fulfill the Islamization agenda. Let's look at this. Nasir El-Rufai, who partnered with USAID, named as the commander-in-chief of Boko Haram. On Thursday, August 28, 2014, Nigeria's immediate past chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Azubike Iyejirika, identified Nasir El-Rufai as the commander-in-chief of Boko Haram. Also, Kaduna State under El-Rufai was one of the single largest recipients of USAID funds. Now, please just Google Kaduna signs MOU, Memorandum of Understanding with USAID. So, a reported commander-in-chief of Boko Haram, USAID had to sign an MOU with that person. And that person doubles as also the governor of Kaduna State. With the revelation from US Congressman Scott Perry that USAID under Obama and Biden is the sponsor of Boko Haram, is it not now making sense that USAID would focus on Kaduna, whose then governor was the commander-in-chief of Boko Haram, according to Iyejirika? You can see how all these things are playing. Now, please fast check. In 2014, Obama's political consultants worked directly with El-Rufai, who was their chief liaison. Now, see the Bloomberg story. Nigerian opposition says it hired Obama political consultants. Nigeria opposition says it hired Obama political consultants. That is the APC. No wonder. Bring back our girls. A governor was there when Boko Haram was taking, in quotes, the girls away. The governor has a position in the country today. I told you, in Islam, we have Fulani, then Kanuri. The third is Yoruba. Maybe Nupe will come last. The governor was governor of Borno State when Boko Haram took the children away, and they trended as bring back our girls. Till today, we'll never see the result of the whole thing. They got into power. It seems somehow they now faded it and stopped the investigation. We don't know the whereabouts of over 300 human beings that were stolen from a school. Intelligence reports got to the governor then that people are coming to take away so things is coming to happen. Oh, some people want to come and kidnap. Oh, the governor called it bluff. At the end of the day, the party that carried that conspiracy theory that did the protests made him the vice president. It tells you a lot about agenda. Must agenda. Buhari threatened a Jonathan. He will make his, whether it is good governance or whether the economy is going well or whether anything happens, he will make the governance of Jonathan ungovernable. Why? Because they don't get backup. At the House, the National Assembly, Akpabio and Dume, they are speaking BB grammar. You are inviting security officials, asking them different questions. Our chief of army staff, naval staff, asking them they should investigate whether USAID is funding Boko Haram. Some people are reacting to social media posts instead of them to go into the real investigation and be sincere to Nigerians. When has the federal government of Nigeria been sincere to Nigerians? When have they not really deceived Nigerians? Because anything, even though they do their investigation, Nigerians no more believe the government in power. Look at a young man that did a content, brought 2 generators, bought fuel from 2 different filling stations, one from MRS, the other one from Dangote, and put on the 2 gen at almost the same time. The one they bought from, one from MRS, which is Dangote, the other one from NNPC, Nigeria National Petroleum, handled by the government. The one bought from MRS lasted longer than the one bought from NNPC. Now, because somebody is playing a different role from the government, the NNPC has been deceiving Nigerians for a very long time, and they will put out statements like nothing blah, nothing this, nothing that. So if the government itself that is complicit does an investigation on this Boko Haram matter, it is the same story like the bring back our school girls. So since El-Rufai left office as Kaduna governor, have you heard of mass herdsmen killings in southern Kaduna? The southern Kaduna genocide ended on May 29, 2023, the day that the butcher of Kaduna, El-Rufai, left office. I read this on a social media post. Let's look at what is really happening in Nigeria today. We told you that agenda plenty. People get agenda. See, all these people that are coming to like rebrand themselves as if they are better people. Don't be deceived by politicians. Politicians are what they are. They can never change. Old men don't change. Don't be deceived. An old man who is getting close to his grave, who is a thief, is still a thief, a liar. A criminal is still a criminal. Don't use your pity. Don't be emotional about old people. Old people don't change. The people that change are even young people. Old people don't change. Don't let all these politicians that are old, don't let them deceive you, especially from the Fulani extraction. I'm not the one that said it. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not the one that said it. This is this has been reported since August 2014. El-Rufai, the commander of Boko Haram. Everybody just kept quiet. As if nobody is even particular about. We are concerned. We need to be concerned. And these people are still relevant in our today's politics. Only God knows. Maybe Tinubu dodged the bullet by not including this man in his government. If not, with the position he has, this one is ranting. He doesn't have a position. He's ranting like this. What if they give him Minister of Power? And he thinks his interests are not being and Tinubu is doing this Yorubanization, don't you think that this guy can scatter Tinubu's government with his appointments, with all he's saying? El-Rufai has said a lot of things and done a lot of things, have threatened a lot of people. Under his government, opposition houses have been destroyed. Some people have disappeared under the same El-Rufai. According to this Mr. Fact Check Me, he says, since he left office, have you heard of mass herdsmen killings in southern Kaduna? Have you heard of southern Kaduna genocide? Now, the genocide, according to this man, ended May 29th, 2023. Malafia said it. He said it in an interview. They did not take him to court to prove what he's saying. All they had to do is that at the end of the day, he was sick and he died. You think politicians will come and say, I'm the one sponsoring Boko Haram? If a politician is going to do something like that, he's going to be clever to hide his traces. You cannot trace it to him. Many people, maybe many Boko Haram members that are being caught will be alleging that El-Rufai is our commander. Intelligence reports will come, El-Rufai is our commander, but you will not have evidence to back it up, as it were. Those that really have evidence to back it up will be hit and attacked. Malafia said he had evidence. He has spoken to Boko Haram commanders, some Boko Haram members, and they confirmed to him that a particular sitting governor was the commander-in-chief of Boko Haram. And these are the people that you are aligning with, Southwest politicians. We know you believe you're wise. Now we are calling for Southern Nigeria to have this alliance for one reason. Not because we want to stay together. Not because we like ourselves. Not because we will resolve our issues. Because we need a united front against the Fulani. The Southwest alone cannot beat the Fulani to the game they are going to play after 8 years, 27. Whatever Tinubu is going to do, he must be very, very quick about it, restructuring Nigeria. Whatever restructuring that is going to go on, make sure that everybody is taken along and you restructure Nigeria.